So it was a kind of a rare thing. My husband never gets time off around Christmas, and he was off the day after, and when we woke up he said, let's do something fun. So skiing is what we thought of. I videoed him on his last trip down the hill and get to the bottom, and he fell and couldn't get up. So I tried to pick him up, and it took a few times to pick him up. He kept sliding on his skis and sliding on his skis. Finally got him up, and I thought that I had pulled my shoulder out of socket. I just got hot, like super hot, couldn't cool down, couldn't catch my breath as well, a little bit nauseous. We were starting to walk through the line, and I told my girls, I said, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, I don't feel good. Decided I needed some of my clothes off, so I had layers. I was taking my layers off, and I still couldn't cool down. I could feel the cold off the floor, so I thought if I can lay on that floor and just cool down there. So laid down on the floor, had my face against the cold tile, was finally feeling a little bit better, and in walked my youngest daughter, and she said, Mom, are you okay? And I said, yeah. I just need to cool down a little bit. I'm okay. I don't feel good. I'm nauseous. Just need to cool down. I'll feel better if I cool down.
So when I'd walked into the bathroom and saw my mom laying on the ground, I was just really confused, because that's nothing like my mom. Like, she's super modest. I knew something was wrong.
So she brought the medic in, so I couldn't breathe by then. And so he gave me some oxygen. That felt a little bit better. He couldn't find a pulse in my left wrist at all. He went to the right wrist, and it was super, super low. And he said, I think there's more to it than your arm being out of socket. I think I was probably in the ER about 2 minutes, and they had checked whatever they checked first for heart and said, she's having a STEMI, and they just started screaming, and everybody was going crazy. I kept telling my husband, go tell the girls I'm okay. And they were in the waiting room. He said, they know you're okay. And I said, no, go tell them I'm okay. Tell them I said I'm okay. Because if I didn't know that they didn't know that what all was going on in that room. And if they had seen that room, I knew that they would be scared. And so I kept saying, just go tell them I said I'm okay. He wouldn't leave. Finally, they said, we're gonna get a helicopter. We'll take you to Topeka. Well, that's where we lived. So we were like, okay. I don't think for a couple of days I knew how bad I was, but that first night, they didn't think I would make it. My cardiologist told me the next day. He just shook his head at me and said, you shouldn't be here. Like, you're here for a reason. I recovered super fast. I have a lot of damage to my heart. There's probably about 1/3 of my heart that is still good muscle, and the other muscle, it took 4.5 hours. Like, it didn't seem like it to me, but 4.5 hours from the time I had the artery burst until I got the stents in. So there was a lot of damage to the heart muscle.
I've also heard that women are more likely to die from a heart attack because when they feel the pain, they usually try and go somewhere and lay down, they fall asleep, and they just don't wake up because they try and tolerate the pain more, or the symptoms aren't the same. So for women to know even the smaller symptoms and to realize you shouldn't just go off somewhere and lay down, you should stay with people that can help you, or go get help yourself if you don't have anyone with you.
So I did have a family history that I look back now and say, oh, that's the same heart attack. I had the same heart attack that my grandpa and 2 uncles and a cousin and whatever had. But I felt perfect. I had low cholesterol. I had all of those numbers that are supposed to be okay are okay. I got my physicals every year. I got everything that I was supposed to do. When they went in and fixed, they did say that all of my other arteries were crystal clear. It was the one that burst that did all of that, and I had no clue how much that could affect everything with family. If I had instantly known that I had 3 or 4 of the main symptoms for a heart attack, then I would have went quicker. I would have gotten help quicker. I appreciate that I get to do all the things that I look back and couldn't have done if I did that. I've moved my girls to college. I spend more time with family, and I enjoy every bit of time with my girls. Make sure that we do those fun things that we might not do. I just appreciate everything that I have learned and gotten from the American Heart Association. Constant education, a lot of hope from the stories that I read. There are so many people that I can relate to. that have had the same thing happen or could have the same thing happen. And if they know the signs and symptoms, I know that it could help maybe even save a life.